Okay, okay. I was just watching some things, and racism and discrimination work both ways. My understanding is that uh, compensation for past wrongs has always led compensation, not personal, but for a race. What I mean, people who were victim of Holocaust, real victim, has the right of some sort of compensation, not after, but just them, not everybody who is Jewish, not third generation after that. Um, and we were seeing what happened in Israel. So the the pendulum, moved from one extreme to the other extreme. So it was an extreme. Black people calling white people crackers is like white people calling black people the N word and that end with eagers. That's completely racist. And don't tell me, oh, but you're the first to be racist. So what's happened in the past? Hundreds of thousands of million white people, some black people, but I think 99% were white people, killed each other, and you have no respect for the death of people who fought to free black people from slavery. Slavery was all over the place in the past, and we only think of slavery of white people against black people. Sometimes happened the opposite. Sometimes with not black people, with Arabic people against white people. It was a common thing when a nation. It wasn't a people in the past that were not called nations like Rome, other empire or countries. They got slaves, or the people who were conquered, and now I see that they foster this revenge thing, or white or black people against white people, or women against men, Jewish people against the rest of the world, and that's leading to the destruction of society, maybe a nuclear war and destruction of the world, because nuclear war can happen because of Ukraine or because of Israel. So we have two hotbeds of war, and missiles now are much faster. It takes nothing. If we don't have the time even to have a red line, it's a matter of minutes. It would be even less if Ukraine became a member of NATO. It's really dangerous. And having this grudge, why? I'm no American. I live in the United States. You can tell by a tinge of American accent. A tinge. I don't speak American English, but I live there. And that's completely insane. You can imagine a YouTuber calling black people N word. Well, but the C word that stands for crackers, you can say. You know, that's I heard of some people from Kenya calling white people pigs because most pigs are kind of pink. They're also black. It's like I'm calling black people wild boars because wild boars have a dark color. That's completely insane. It's derogative. I'm not for politically correctness. I think that if you have the right to call us crackers, we have the right to call you the N words, because I say racism works both ways. It seems you cannot be racist against white people. Oh, you can. Believe me, you can. You cannot be sexist against male. You can. In my experience, obviously, I haven't been discriminated as white up to now. In America, you are discriminated if you have a job um, interview. They are, you know, they prefer white, black people, Latinos, white, and at least uh, Asian people. It's not a collective thing. It's not a collective thing. I can be white. My ancestor didn't enslave black people. My 2000, I don't know all my ancestors, but assuming they're from Italy, they enslaved. Okay, let's say that Israel want reparation from Italian state because Romans invaded Israel. Yeah, I mean some people Etruscan. I don't know what you want back Tuscany because Tuscany was from Etruscans. I don't know. Yeah, and they find they have this blood, and they live in Turkey because people have the same genetic DNA, and the Turkish state want this region of Italy because people. That's completely insane. The whole concept of Israel is insane. What happened if every population after 2,000 years claimed back a territory? Uh, Russia is doing now for something where people all still speak Russian and they say it's not right. English, Russian speaking parts of Ukraine, but if you claim territories that have been Arabic for I don't know, millennium, more than a millennium. I don't know exactly when they start speaking Arabic in Palestine. And after all, these are languages similar, theoretically, genetically, they are kin, and they kill each other. Arabs couldn't care less about Jews if they didn't invade Palestine in the past. How to put it? It's completely insane. Women dissing men for everything, bad mouthing males just because they are males. And the gender identity is bullshit thing. You have a dick, you're a man. You have a pussy, you're a woman. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. No. And with that, you have hormones, a development, a way of thinking. And in the past, yes, there have always been people who are homosexual, but they counted, maybe in the past nothing, but they should count for what they are, 5% of the population. And, sorry, I am blunt, they want to fuck each other. Okay, well, not my problem. But when it becomes an ideology and something that is gay is better. I like my children to be gay. What the fuck? I mean, you want to have children, you're heterosexual. Okay, that's the way to go. You have to adopt children. Yeah, come on. This whole society is insane, and America is leading the path. They are completely not all of them, because I'm all against Trump's politics when it comes to Middle East, but for the rest I agree. This green madness, this gender madness, this racial madness, combined with a general average stupidity. I debated with an American some days ago about Ukraine. He could only harp on independent state. Ukraine is different from Russia. I gave a context. You should know all the facts. Then you make your decision and you have your opinions. But you don't. You should have opinions about things you don't know shit. He didn't know shit about the origin of Russia. Russia was there. The origin was there. Ukraine has never been an independent state. The language was not a literary language in the past. Everybody wrote in Russian. it was under always part, it has been always part of Russia, maybe, but for the most part, it was part of Russia. Russia make the what we call Ukraine bigger because they have been wronged by the Soviet Union state, not by Russia. You can argue, but Russia is the George Stalin was Georgian anyway, and they always had the same opportunity to be part of the Soviet Union as politics. Actually, Ukraine was overrepresented. They had a lot of help by the Soviet state. Khrushchev was Ukraine. So it seems they coexisted. Oh, but it's a different language. Yeah, man, come on. It's like Sicily want to claim that the language they speak is a different language, so they don't want to be part of Italy. But historically is a part of Italy, Sicily. Like historically, Ukraine was ethnically and linguistically, they are Slavic people. The main thing that made Ukraine different from Russia, and that they were Catholic, but a little part of Ukraine, yeah, I don't know exactly half or 3/4, at least minimum a third of Ukraine is Orthodox and Russian speaking. So if you don't know all the context, you can have a decent conversation about the situation. He couldn't take my, he kept one sign, one giveaway that you're in a position of inferiority in a conversation when you feel the need to continuously interrupt something. You're afraid of him speaking out, or the other person speaking out. So everything started from here. I'm listening to this thing that she called white people crackers. I don't want to be mean. This is but the crackers are white. Okay, no, not white. Actually, white people are not white and black people are not black. White people are kind of peach pink color. Black people are brown. There are a rare exception, extremely dark people and extremely pale white people. Okay, they almost look white, but speaking about people from Finland or people from some parts of Africa, but for the most part we are pink and brown. Having said that, thanks for watching. I need to come on.